Ah, that's nice. Refreshing like a sip of a crisp, cool, caffeine-free Coke Zero on a nice evening, not a sponsor, is the Spyderco Sage 5. This little beauty has quickly become one of my favorite knife designs and will certainly find its way into next year's Knife Madness Challenge, where I get to pare down and see which of my knives I would keep if I can only keep one knife. This one is definitely a contender. Even better news, this knife is completely available and it's completely underrated, so you can easily pick one up. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to do a little window shopping of your own. The Sage 5 is a fully steel linered compression lock knife made in Taichung, Taiwan. The blade steel is CPM S30V. This lightweight version has FRN scales on the outside of those full steel liners, but it is also available in a G10/carbon fiber version if FRN really isn't your thing. I will say that this FRN that comes on this knife from Taiwan is completely and totally different than the FRN that I have seen on the Japanese Spydercos and the USA Spydercos as well. It has a much better feel and I much prefer it to those other FRNs. The Sage 5 weighs in at 2.89 ounces, but it should be noted that I have a heavier pocket clip on it than the wire pocket clip that it starts with. It has an overall length of right at about 7.5 inches. The blade length just over 3 inches and a cutting edge of just over 2 3/4 inches. Here is a size comparison pivot to pivot with a Spyderco Para 3 and a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Here it is against a Wee Banter and a Benchmade Bug Out and a children's alligator bath toy and a partially eaten saltine cracker. I honestly think that the Spyderco Sage 5 is one of the purest representations of the compression lock that I have ever experienced. Right out of the box, this thing was just absolutely drop shut, and the Spidey flick and thumb flick are really easy to manipulate. You can also just hold down that compression bar, and this thing is good to go. I really like the belt satin finish on the blade on this one, and the full flat grind on this guy is really executed well. This thing is a crazy good slicer. You can see in my hand, which typically I do wear an extra large glove, that I can get a full 4-finger purchase on this when I'm up in this front position, which is the most natural ergonomic position for this knife. I know that CPM S30V has kind of drifted out of modern popularity, but I can tell you that this Spyderco CPM S30V that's done in Taichung, Taiwan is an excellent expression of S30V. I think gives you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of how different heat treats can perform differently, because this knife has held up extremely well and just been an absolute pleasure to use. I'm absolutely not a fan of the wire clips from Spyderco, but I really like to customize my knives and put a pocket clip of my choice on there anyway, so this wire replacement clip is from Lynch Northwest, which I'm a huge fan of. I have so many of their pocket clips and they continue to be fantastic, so I would certainly not let that deter you. Now, if you followed my channel at all, you know that I'm a massive fan of the Spyderco Para 3. I think it's an excellent EDC knife that everyone should have at least 1 or 2 of, and I can tell you that at this point in my journey, if I was going to make a choice between having a Sage 5 or a Para 3, I think I'm gonna go with the Sage 5. Just right out of the box, it is just such a comfortable EDC knife, and it's nice and lightweight. And guys, I am telling you, this execution of the compression lock, this thing is just so buttery smooth, and it was super smooth even when the washers weren't broke in yet and they were running bone dry. This knife has actually dramatically increased my expectations for how the compression lock can be executed. Honestly, I cannot tell you why more people aren't blown away and excited about this knife. I truly think it is just a hidden gem of the Spyderco lineup. In my day-to-day life, I've never found it to not be enough knife, but I think you all can do a pretty good job of self-selecting if you need to carry a bigger knife in your everyday life. Thank you so much for watching and taking a second look at the Spyderco Sage 5. I hope that you'll let love and light fill your life. Stay sharp out there, everyone, and we will see you on the next one.